say what you want about deaf people. You gotta hand it to blind prostitutes. A blind prostitute told me I had the biggest dick she had ever felt. I told her she was pulling my leg. A plateau is the highest form of flattery. Guy walks up to the widow at her husband's funeral and says, "May I just say one word?" Sure, she replies. Plethora. The widow says, "Thanks. That means a lot." What do you get when you cross a joke with a rhetorical question? Stared at. Hey, guess what? What? Good guess. I have many jokes about unemployed people. Sadly, none of them work. Why can't hedgehogs just share the hedge? What was ET short for? Because he had little legs. Why did Edward Woodward have so many D's in his name? Why? Because without them he'd have been called you a wooer. What did one nut say when it was chasing the other nut? I'm a cashew. What do we want? Airplane noises. When do we want them? Me-er. Two fish are in a tank. One looks at the other and says, "You man the gun, I'll drive." What's red and bad for your teeth? A brick. What do you call a magic dog? A labracadabrador. A Mexican magician told his audience he was going to vanish on the count of 3. He counted, deuce, and disappeared without a trace. Courtesy of my daughter. What do you call a broken can opener? A can't opener. Two cows are standing in a field. The first cow says to the second, "Have you heard about this mad cow disease? It makes cows go crazy and then they die." The second cow replies, "Good thing I am a helicopter." What did Stevie Wonder say to the seagull? "I can't see I used to be good at telling jokes, but now I just punch up the fuck line." To be frank, I'd have to change my name. My fake plant died because I forgot to pretend to water it. A priest, a pastor, and a rabbi walk into a bar. The bartender says, "What is this? Some kind of joke? How do you think the unthinkable? With an iceberg." Why did the monkey fall out of the tree? It was dead. Why did the squirrel fall out of the tree? It was stapled to the monkey. Now prepare your butts for this belter of a joke courtesy of you/Brandon Hawes 13. 3 guys are walking through the woods when they find a lamp. One of them picks it up, rubs it, and out pops a genie. It booms, "You have finally freed me after all these years. So I'll grant each one of you 3 wishes." The first guy immediately blurts out, "I want $1 billion. Poof. He's holding a printout that shows his account balance is now in fact 1,003,50. The second man thinks for a bit, then says, "I want to be the richest man alive." Poof. He's holding papers showing his net worth is now well over 300 billion. The third guy thinks even longer about his wish, then says, "I want my left arm to rotate clockwise for the rest of my life." Poof. His arm starts rotating. The genie tells them it's time for their second wish. The first guy says, "I want to be married to the most beautiful woman on earth." Poof. A stunning beauty wraps herself around his arm. The second guy says, "I want to be good looking and charismatic, so I can have every girl I want." Poof. His looks change and the first guy's wife immediately starts flirting with him. The third guy says, "I want my right arm to rotate counterclockwise until I die." Poof. Now both his arms are rotating opposite directions. The genie tells them to think very carefully about their third wish. The first guy does, and after a while says, "I never want to become sick or injured. I want to stay healthy until I die." Poof. His complexion improves. His acne is gone and his knees don't bother him anymore. The second guy says, "I never want to grow old. I want to stay 29 forever." Poof. He looks younger already. The third guy smiles triumphantly and says, "My last wish is for my head to nod back and forth." Poof. He's now nodding his head and still flailing his arms around. The genie wishes them good luck, disappears, and the men soon go their separate ways. Many years later they meet again and chat about how things have been going. The first guy is ecstatic. I've invested the money and multiplied it many times over, so me and my family will be among the richest of the rich pretty much forever. My wife is a freak in the sheets, and I've never gotten so much as a cold in all these years. The second guy smiles and says, well, I built charities worldwide with a fraction of my wealth. I'm still the richest guy alive and also revered for my good deed. I haven't aged a day since we last met, and yes, your wife is pretty wild in bed. The third guy walks in, flailing his arms around and nodding his head, and says, guys, I think I effed up. Did these jokes make you laugh? Did you get every one? I know I sure didn't. Put your favorite jokes down below for a chance to get featured in the next episode, and make sure to like and subscribe for more stupid rubbish like this.